Numbers 14. All through that night, the entire community raised up their voices. The people wept. All Bnei Israel grumbled against Moshe and Aaron and the whole community and said, "If only we had died in Egypt. If only we had died in this wilderness. Why is Adonai bringing us out to this land to fall by the sword? Our wives and children will be like plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt?" They said to each other, "Let's choose a leader and let's go back to Egypt." Then Moshe and Aaron fell on their faces before the entire assembly of the community of Bnei Israel. Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Zephuneh, who were among those who had explored the land, tore their clothes. They said to the whole assembly of Bnei Israel, "The land through which we passed is an exceptionally good land. If Adonai is pleased with us, he will lead us into that land and will give it to us, a land flowing with milk and honey. Only don't rebel against Adonai, and don't be afraid of the people of the land. They will be food for us. The protection over them is gone. Adonai is with us. Do not fear them." But the whole assembly talked out violently, stoning them. Then the glory of Adonai appeared at the tent of meeting to all Bnei Israel. Adonai said to Moses, "How long will these people treat me contemptibly? How long will they neglect to trust in me? In spite of all the miraculous signs I have performed among them, I will strike them with a plague. I will destroy them, but you I will make into a nation greater and stronger than they." Moshe said to Adonai, "The Egyptians will hear about it, because you brought up this people by your power from among them. They will tell the residents of this land about it. Already they have heard about you, Adonai, are in the midst of this people, that you, Adonai, have been seen eye to eye, that your cloud remains over them, and that in a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, you go before them. If you kill these people all at once, the nations who have heard this report about you will say, 'Because Adonai was unable to bring this people to the land he had promised them, he has slaughtered them in the wilderness.' So please let Adonai show his strength, just as you have spoken, saying, 'Adonai is slow to anger and abundant in loving kindness, forgiving iniquity and transgression. Still he does not leave the guilty unpunished, bringing the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations. Forgive now the guiltiness of this people in accordance with the greatness of your loving kindness, just as you have pardoned this people from Egypt until now." Adonai answered, I have forgiven them just as you have spoken, but as certainly as I live, and as certainly as the glory of Adonai fills the entire earth, none of the people who saw my glory and my miraculous signs I performed in Egypt and in the wilderness, yet tested me these 10 times and did not obey my voice. Not one of them will see the land I promised to their forefathers. None of those who treated me with contempt will see it. However, my servant Caleb, because a different spirit is with him, and he is wholeheartedly behind me, I will bring him into the land where he went. His offspring will inherit it. Now, since the Amalekites and Canaanites are inhabiting the valley, turn back tomorrow and set out by the wilderness route toward the Sea of Reeds. Adonai then said to Moshe and Aaron, saying, "How long will this wicked community be grumbling against me? I have heard the complaints of Bnei Israel grumbling against me. So tell them, as surely as I live, says Adonai, I will do to you just as I heard you say in my ears. In this very wilderness your bodies will drop, every one of you 20 years of age and older, who was numbered in the census and grumbled against me. Not one of you will enter the land about which I lifted my hand to make home for you, except Caleb, son of Zephuneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. As for your children, whom you said would be like plunder, I will bring them in, and they will experience the land that you spurned. But your bodies will drop in this wilderness. Your children will be herdsmen in the wilderness for 40 years. They will suffer because of your unfaithfulness until your corpses are consumed in the wilderness. For 40 years, corresponding to the number of the 40 days you explored the land, 1 year for each day, you will suffer for your iniquities and know my hostility. I, Adonai, have spoken, and certainly will I do this to all this wicked community banding together against me. In this wilderness they will meet their end, and there they will die. Then the men whom Moshe had sent to explore the land, who had returned and caused the whole community to grumble against him by spreading a bad report about the land. These men, spreading the bad report about the land, died of the plague in Adonai's presence. Of those men who had gone to explore the land, only Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh survived. When Moshe related these things to all of Bnei Israel, the people mourned bitterly. They rose the next morning and went up to the high mountain, saying, "Look, let's go up to the place where Adonai promised, for we have sinned." But Moshe said, "Why are you disobeying the mouth of Adonai? They will never succeed. You should not go up, because Adonai will not be among you, and you will be defeated before your enemies. For the Amalekites and Canaanites are there in front of you, and you will fall by the sword. Adonai will not be with you, because you turned away from following Adonai." But presumptuously they went up to the high mountain country, though neither the ark of Adonai's covenant nor Moshe moved from within the camp. The Amalekites and Canaanites living in the mountain country came down, attacked them, and beat them down all the way to Hormah. Chapter 15. Again Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to Bnei Israel and say to them, when you enter the land that I am giving you, where you will make your homes, and you are presenting a fire offering to Adonai, a burnt offering or a sacrifice to mark fulfilling a vow, a freewill offering, or during Moadim, to present a pleasing aroma to Adonai from the herd or from the flock. The one bringing the offering is to present a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil. Now, with each lamb for the burnt offering of sacrifice, you are to prepare 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. With a ram, you are to prepare 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/3 of a hin of oil and 1/3 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. You are to offer it as a pleasing aroma to Adonai. Whenever you are to prepare a young bull for a burnt offering, a special vow offering, or a fellowship offering to Adonai, bring with the young bull a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/2 a hin of oil. You are to also offer as the drink offering 1/2 a hin of wine as a fire offering, a pleasing aroma to Adonai. This is to be done for each bull or ram, for each young goat or lamb. Do this for each one, for as many as you prepare. Everyone native born is to do these things like so when bringing a fire offering as a pleasing aroma to Adonai. Whenever an outsider resides with you, or whoever is among you for your generations to come, and he is to present a fire offering as a fragrant aroma to Adonai, as you do, he must do exactly the same as you are doing. The community will have the same rule for you as well as for the resident outsider. It will be a lasting statute throughout your generations. As for you, so for the outsider will it be before Adonai. The same Torah and the same regulations will apply to both you and the outsider residing among you. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to Bnei Israel, say to them, when you enter the land to which I am taking you, and you eat some of the food of the land, you are to offer a portion to Adonai. You are to offer a cake from the first of your ground up meals as an offering from your threshing floor, so you are to lift it up throughout your generations to come. You are to give this offering from the first of your ground up meal. If you unintentionally fall not keeping any of these mitzvot that Adonai related to Moshe, that is, anything that Adonai commanded you through Moshe's hand, from the day Adonai commanded and onward throughout your generations, and it is done unintentionally out of sight of the community, then the entire community is to offer one young bull from the herd of a burnt offering as a pleasing aroma to Adonai, along with its appropriate grain offering and drink offering, and one male goat as a sin offering. So the Kohen will make atonement for the entire community of Bnei Israel, and they will be forgiven, for it was unintentional, and they brought a fire offering and their sin offering to Adonai for their error. So the whole community of Bnei Israel, along with the outsider residing among them, will be forgiven, for all the people were involved in unintentional wrongdoing. If but one person should sin unintentionally, he is to bring a year-old female goat for a sin offering. The Kohen is to make atonement before Adonai for the person who erred by sinning without intent, and he is to be forgiven when atonement has been made for him, whether a native born of Bnei Israel or an outsider living among them. One Torah applies to you for the one sinning unintentionally. But the person who sins defiantly, whether native or outsider, reviles Adonai, and that people is to be cut off from his people, because he has despised the word of Adonai and has broken his commandment. That person will certainly be cut off. His guilt will remain on them. While Bnei Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering wood on the Shabbat. Those who found him gathering wood brought him to Moshe, Aaron, and the entire assembly. They kept him under arrest, not being clear what was to be done to him. Adonai said to Moshe, "The man has to die. The whole assembly is to stone him with stones outside the camp." So the whole assembly took him outside the camp. They stoned him with stones. He died just as Adonai commanded Moshe. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to Bnei Israel. Say to them that they are to make for themselves tzitzit on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and they are to put a blue cord on each tzitzit. It will be your own tzitzit, so whenever you look at them, you will remember all the mitzvot of Adonai and do them, and not go spying out after your own hearts and your own eyes, prostituting yourselves. This way you will remember and obey all my mitzvot, and you will be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God. I brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God." Chapter 16. Now Korah, son of Issachar, son of Kohath, son of Levi, and the sons of Reuben, Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, rose up against Moshe and took 250 men from Bnei Israel, men of renown, who had been appointed to the council. They assembled against Moshe and Aaron. They said to them, "You've gone too far. All the community is holy, all of them, and Adonai is with them. Then why do you exalt yourselves above the assembly of Adonai?" When Moshe heard this, he fell on his face. Then he said to Korah and all his followers, saying, "In the morning Adonai will reveal who is holy, who is his and who is holy. The one whom he will let come near to him will be the one he chooses to come near to him. Do this, Korah, and your whole following. Take for yourself censers, put fire and incense into them, into the presence of Adonai. Tomorrow the man that Adonai chooses will be the Holy One. You sons of Levi are the ones who have gone too far." Moshe also said to Korah, "Listen now, sons of Levi. Isn't it enough that the God of Israel has set you apart from the community of Israel to bring you near to him, to do the work of the tabernacle of Adonai, and to stand before the community to minister to them? So he brought you close, along with all your fellow sons of Levi. but you are seeking the priesthood too. Therefore, you and all your following are banding together against Adonai. Who then is Aaron? Then you are grumbling against him. Then Moshe sent word to God, Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, but they said, We will not come. Isn't it enough that you brought us from a land flowing with milk and honey, only to kill us in the wilderness? And now you would lord it over us? What's more, you haven't brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, nor given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. Would you now gouge out the eyes of those men? We won't come. Then Moshe became very angry and said to Adonai, Do not accept their offering. I haven't taken from them a single donkey, nor have I wronged one of them. So Moshe said to Korah, You and your whole following are to appear before Adonai, you, they, and Aaron tomorrow. Each man will take his censer, and you are to put incense into them, 250 censers total. You are to present it before Adonai, you and Aaron each presenting his censer. So each man took his censer, put fire and incense into it, and stood with Moshe and Aaron at the entrance of the tent of meeting. When Korah and all his following had assembled in opposition to them at the entrance to the tent of meeting, then the glory of Adonai appeared to the entire assembly. Then Adonai spoke to Moshe and Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from among this assembly, so that I may consume them at once. But they fell on their faces and cried out, O God, God of the spirits of all flesh, if one man sins, will you be angry with the entire community? Then Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the assembly, saying, Move away from the dwelling of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Moshe got up and went to Dathan and Abiram. The elders of Israel followed after him. He warned the assembly, saying, Move away from the tents of these wicked men. Don't touch anything that is theirs, or you will be swept away because of all their sins. So they moved away from near the dwelling of Korah in Dathan and Abiram. Dathan and Abiram came outside and were standing at the entrance of their tents with their wives, their children, and their little ones. Moshe said, By this you will know that Adonai has sent me to do all these works, that they are not from my own heart. If every one of these men die a common death and experience what happens to all people, then Adonai has not sent me. But if Adonai brings about a new thing, and the earth opens her mouth and swallows them and everything that is theirs, and they go down alive into Sheol, then you will know that these men have despised Adonai. As soon as he finished saying all these things, the ground split under them. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed them, along with all their households, all of the Korah's people, and all of their possessions. They went down alive into Sheol, and they and everything that was theirs. The earth closed over them, and they were gone before among the community. All Israel around them fled at their outcry, for they shouted, Perhaps the earth will swallow us. Fire also came out from Adonai, consumed the 250 men offering the incense. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, Tell Eleazar, son of Aaron the Kohen, to take the censers from the burning, because they are holy, and scatter the coals at a distance. As for the censers of these men who sinned at the cost of their lives, let them be taken and hammered into sheets as a covering for the altar, for they were presented before Adonai, so they are holy. They are to be a sign to Bnei Israel. So Eleazar the Kohen collected the bronze censers brought by the ones who were burned and hammered them into an overlay for the altar, just as Adonai has spoken to them by Moshe's hand, so that it would be a reminder of Bnei Israel that no one who was not a descendant of Aaron should burn incense before Adonai, and so no one would become like Korah and his following. The next day, the entire community of Bnei Israel grumbled against Moshe and Aaron, saying, "You killed Adonai's people." But when they gathered in opposition to Moshe and Aaron and turned toward the tent of meeting, behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory appeared. Moshe and Aaron went to the front of the tent of meeting. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, "Get away from among this assembly, so that I may immediately consume them." So they fell on their faces. Then Moshe said to Aaron, "Take the censer, put into it fire from the altar, and put in incense. Get going and hurry to the assembly and make atonement for them, because wrath has come out from Adonai and the plague has started." Aaron did just as Moshe had said and ran into the middle of the assembly. Behold, the plague had already started among the people. But he offered the incense and made atonement for the people. He stood between the dead and the living, and the plague stopped. However, there were 14,700 dead from the plague, besides those who died because of Korah. Then Aaron returned to Moshe at the entrance of the tent of meeting when the plague had been halted.